But my brother, and this is not excuses, this is just sort of where I was thinking, right? I mean, the ultimate responsibility for this is mine, as far as my own actions go. But my brother was, that it's perfectly legitimate, that yes, they're selling a story, but that's what stock promotion is all about. And, so my brother, who was, had 10 years of experience relative to me, more in business, was the one leading me down the garden path. And of course, this process of getting this money, making this money, and then selling the stocks and so on, it was a very it was a wild time. It was a wild time in my life, and I'm certainly glad to have gone through it for the knowledge that I gained about my own capacity to exploit others, right? Because it's very easy to moralize when you don't know your own dark side, and I know that I can be occasionally prone to that moralizing, and I try to avoid it. But if you project your own capacity for corruption onto everyone else, if you pretend that you don't have a dark side, and you are just a good guy and everyone else is a bad guy, then it's very hard to have sympathy, right, for others, and it's usually, it's just not true. And so when I got the hang of my own capacity to corrupt and to rip people off, right? I mean, to participate in that ripping. I mean, my job was, I was doing a good job. I was creating software that people wanted. We were selling it, but the senior management, the board, had promised stock options to the employees at a certain amount, and then they came down and they were at a much less advantageous amount. So I was already aware of that when I began to sell my shares and to profit from what these people were doing in the marketplace. And I don't hate myself for doing it, because I was not conscious of the corruption that I was. That's the time that it's the most dangerous, right? When you're not conscious, right? If you project your own capacity for corruption onto everyone else, if you pretend that you don't have a dark side, and you are just a good guy and everyone else is a bad guy, then it's very hard to have sympathy, right, for others, and it's usually, it's just not true. There is no capacity for the non-abusive power in modern culture, and in almost all cultures throughout history, because morality and epistemology, ethics and metaphysics has been so corrupted by irrationality and the abuse of power already that nobody can hold power and not abuse it these days. Maybe I would put myself in the very sort of minority of exceptions, and even the small power that I've had as a company owner, I have not abused that power, but that power was still difficult and dangerous in that it drew other people to attempt to exploit me, and sometimes they did it with varying degrees of success.